Alright, figure I have some time before Bowling League, so may as well review WrestleMania 30. I was intending on doing a predictions video, but, the crowded place I live at doesn't really allow for me to do videos of the sort. Whatever, but either way, let's just get right on with it. It was a good show. Definitely the best WrestleMania I've seen or have witnessed in via replays since I want to say maybe WrestleMania 22, either 21 or 22 was probably the best one since. The last few WrestleManias, especially the last ones of the last 5 years, have been a real disappointment, and WrestleMania 30 definitely did not disappoint. If you ordered it via WWE Network, you most certainly got your money's worth. If you paid the standard $60 via your cable provider, I suppose it'd be worth $60, but I mean, you'd be a fool not to get it on WWE Network, especially since you'd be able to watch it on your cell phone. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if you're at work, hey, you could just fire it up on your cell phone, watch it on mute, and there you go. You know what I mean? So the fact that the price of it essentially has been reduced to $10 a month, so $10 a pay-per-view. That was a good move by WWE. And you definitely got your money's worth if you got it through WWE Network. The production quality of the pay-per-view of WrestleMania 30 was actually quite good. They didn't go too over the top, but it didn't look really shoddy. It had the same feel as maybe WrestleMania 20 or 25. So we're not even 25, but of the early 20s WrestleManias. So that was pretty good. They didn't go too over the top, but they weren't ratchet. You know what I mean? The first segment was they introduced the host, which of course was Hulk Hogan. He did a promo. He botched really badly where he was. He said, "Oh, I'd like to welcome you to the Silver Dome," and everyone's like, "What? What's a Silver Dome?" And Hogan's like, "Wait a minute. No, that's the place that's where I body slammed Andre the Giant in WrestleMania 3. Yeah, so at least he covered it up. Steve Austin came out, which is really cool. And he did a promo there, and then The Rock came out, and pretty much all three of the saviors of WWE, as most wrestling historians would tell you, we're all just enjoying a really good 20 minute segment. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was a great way to kick off WrestleMania, no doubt. The first match was Triple H versus Daniel Bryan. I think this was the second to longest match of the show. There are only 7 matches, if you don't include the tag team thing where the Usos retained, which was maybe 10 minutes, something like that. In this match, Daniel Bryan went over Triple H convincingly, clean, in 35 minutes. Both performers looked strong. Stephanie McMahon kind of did a throwback. She wore her, the blouse that she always wore when she was general manager, and she wore the hot pants that she wore back in the day, back in 2000. So that was a pretty cool thing. There was a lot of throwback in this match in general. Daniel Bryan did German suplexes, much like Eddie Guerrero did. Triple H did a crossface, very similar to what Chris Benoit did at WrestleMania 20. Daniel Bryan did a suicide dive and pretty much hit his head on the barricade, and he no-sold it like it was nothing. That was kind of a botch. I was pretty sure he was supposed to sell it for maybe a few seconds. But all in all, it was a good match, probably the best one on the card, I would imagine. I would give it 4 stars. It was a great match. The second match was the Shield versus the Outlaws and Kane, the New Age Outlaws and Kane. The Shield completely crushed that opposing team. It kind of made the New Age Outlaws look pretty bad, in my opinion. Same with Kane. But it was also kind of like a passing of the torch kind of way. The torch was passed a lot in this show. The Shield came out with new merchandise. They have these little Shield face masks. Looks pretty cool. And the finish of the match was insane. Pretty much, you know, the Shield did their little triple powerbomb thing on both the New Age Outlaws. That was a pretty cool spot, good finish to a okay match. I'm gonna give it like maybe 3 stars. It was average. The match after that was the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I was kind of expecting CM Punk to return here, but he didn't. But it's okay. I was expecting Alexander Rusev to be in this, but he wasn't. And like I said, that's okay. Antonio Cesaro wins it, which is pretty cool. He did a giant swing, which is awesome. It came down to the Big Show and Antonio Cesaro. The secret entrants were Brad Maddox, David Otunga, and Tyson Kidd. I think those were the 3 unannounced ones. And I think also Antonio Cesaro. And I think it's a good guy turn for Antonio Cesaro, because he shook the Big Show's hand after the match. Pretty much like, you know, oh, thank you for a good match. This match lasted about 20 minutes. It was pretty good. It wasn't as big of a clusterfuck as I thought it was going to be, so I liked it. Alright. And then we have John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. A lot of people wanted Wyatt to go over, and I didn't, and here's why. At WrestleMania 27, The Miz beat John Cena. I don't think it was clean, but it was as clean of a finish as you could possibly get. What happened to The Miz after? That's right, he got completely buried for the rest of the year. He didn't win the title again that entire year. And it became John Cena versus CM Punk, etc. If Wyatt were to win, okay, this is his very first match with John Cena. If Wyatt were to win this match, how would there be any more progression in the feud? Okay? Because Bray Wyatt's only like 27 years old, 26 years old. He still has a lot to learn. He isn't established yet. He may seem like he's established because he's over as hell, but that doesn't make someone established, especially not established enough to beat somebody 10 years your senior. They played Bray Wyatt's theme live, so that's one. So, you know, those who said, oh, Wyatt should have won, well, he kind of did win because his theme was played live. WWE is taking Bray Wyatt seriously, okay? But if you didn't get the result you want, that's okay because you're going to eventually. Alright? The crowd wasn't into this match at all. It was really slow. They were the storytelling of it, I think, was kind of fucked up. Definitely something that could have just gone on free TV. The storytelling for the match was like, oh, John Cena doesn't know whether to be a good guy or a bad guy, meaning he doesn't know whether to just kick Bray Wyatt's ass or to just, have a good, clean match like he usually has. In my opinion, it should have been a lot faster paced. It should have been like Cena should have just went completely apeshit on Bray Wyatt, and then Bray Wyatt should have gotten like a dirty finish or something like that, or a dirty win. And that would have told the story a lot better, because then the announcers could have been like, oh my god, this is the side of John Cena we haven't seen in 11 years. That kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Then we have Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. A lot of controversy in this match. Lesnar goes over. He does it in about a half hour. Once again, this match was also very, very, very slow. In fact, halfway in it, you could clearly see that The Undertaker was showing his age greatly. And he was showing his past injuries greatly. This lowered the pace, because usually Brock Lesnar has a very fast-paced working style. He likes to hit his opponents really hard, really fast. He likes to do a lot of not high spots, but like very high impact moves. Lots of hard strikes, lots of hard slams. You know what I mean? Like his match in the Big Show, he freaking clobbered the Big Show with like a chair like 5 million times. So he really wasn't as intense as his other matches since he came back 2 years ago. He wasn't nearly as intense as he was against John Cena. He wasn't nearly as intense as he was against CM Punk or Triple H or the Big Show. I really do think this is a Big Show. This is Undertaker's final match. If it isn't, then it needs to be. and I would not be happy if he signed for another match at WrestleMania 31, because he showed his age greatly, and I actually felt really concerned for The Undertaker halfway in this match. I really did think that he was just gonna blow up to the point where he just needed to be carted out of the building. And there's some speculation that The Undertaker decided halfway through the match that he wanted Lesnar to go over because he didn't feel like he performed well enough to win convincingly. If that's true, then that makes me respect Mark Calloway even more. If not, then you friggin' rumor mill assholes are just assholes. So yeah, and Lesnar had to hit the F5 3 times to beat The Undertaker, so it was still pretty convincing. But it was just not as fast-paced as it needed to be. In the last 5 years, this is definitely The Undertaker's worst match. And I'm actually kind of happy to see the streak end. I was never a big fan of the streak. I liked it when it was just some obscure mention. Like 10 years ago, WrestleMania 20. Oh, Undertaker came back and he beat Kane. Oh shit, Undertaker's like, 12-0. Well, goddamn, cool. You know what I mean? But if they really wanted to make the streak important, they would have had it end probably at WrestleMania 25. That's when I think it should have ended. And then Undertaker should have gotten on a losing streak, and they should have finally beat some new guy to finally have his retirement match or something like that. I don't know. The second to last match, it was kind of a cool down match. I don't know why they had this here. They could have easily had Cena versus Wyatt here. They could have easily had Triple H versus Daniel Bryan here. But it was the Divas thing. And AJ wins it. The crowd was completely dead. They were cooling down from the Undertaker match. The Bellas did a pretty cool suicide dive to take out all the other Divas on the outside of the ring. And AJ doesn't win it clean. She puts Naomi in a widow's peak and grabs Naomi's wrist and taps for her. So this is a pretty cool dirty win by AJ Lee. I liked it a lot. It's good that she retained, because if anyone else were to win, it would have made them look really bad. And then we have the WWE World Championship match, and oh my god, this match was fantastic. An excellent effort by Randy Orton. A really good effort by David Batista. I didn't think that Batista was able to go this long without, completely dying. But they played Randy Orton's theme live, which is cool. Good. Of course, I don't think they could have paid Saliva any money to have Batista's theme played live, but that's okay. They did a thing in the last quarter of the match where Triple H comes out and attempts to do a screw job thing to Daniel Bryan by beating up the referee and putting in Scott Armstrong, the guy who did a fast count on Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam 13. That doesn't go real well. Triple H tries to get the sledgehammer out from under the ring and hit Daniel Bryan with it, and then Daniel Bryan hits Triple H with it, and does a kick on Stephanie McMahon or something like that. It was pretty cool. And then they set up a really big table spot where Batista has Daniel Bryan ready for a Batista bomb, and then so he does the Batista bomb on Bryan, which Orton then turns into an RKO through the Spanish announce table. Holy Mother of Jesus, that was intense, and it actually cut Randy Orton's back up similar to Hardcore Holly back in ECW in 2006, where you could see just a ton of blood just gushing out of Randy Orton's back because he landed on one of the camera things that they have on the announce table. This was a good match, and Daniel Bryan gets put up on a stretcher, and he's wheeled out of the arena, and the crowd is kind of booing. And then similar to Mick Foley back in King of the Ring '98 and Royal Rumble '99, Daniel Bryan shakes his head no, and then he gets out of the stretcher and he makes Batista tap for the victory. And the crowd goes berserk. They're doing yes chants all over the place. Of course, they were still kind of dead because of the Undertaker streak ending, but that's okay. And confetti falls. I was kind of expecting Brie Bella to come out and celebrate with him, but yeah, whatever. But yeah, it was a great WrestleMania. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was very fun to watch it live, and well worth my $10 a month for until September to watch WWE Network. And it's already archived. The replay is up on WWE Network, so if you haven't already, get WWE Network and just watch WrestleMania 30. Do it right now. $10. $10 to watch a replay. Not even 24 hours after. That's crazy. Oh no, I'm gonna rate this pay-per-view probably an 8 out of 10. It was a good pay-per-view. It was a great WrestleMania. Yeah, it was a really good WrestleMania. Not perfect, not great. It wasn't as good as 17 or 19, but or what else? Or 14, but I don't think any WrestleManias could be as good as those three. Those three are most certainly my favorites of all time, along with maybe 3 and 6. But no WrestleMania is ever going to be like that. But WrestleMania 30 definitely was a good 30th anniversary show. I liked it. I wonder what's going to happen on Monday Night Raw tonight, but who knows. I'm not going to do a Raw review, but I just wanted to review WrestleMania 30 because I think it was a great show. Anyways, I got to go to Bowling League, so I will see you all later. Keep being awesome. Peace.